my name is Sierra and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what is on Biden's 2020 political agenda. I did the same video for Trump's 2020 political agenda, so if you haven't watched that, make sure you check it out. I will link it above. Today, we're just going to be comparing them side by side, issue to issue, see what they're both saying so we can get educated when we vote on November 3rd. This is your friendly reminder. Do not forget to vote on November 3rd. Get registered, all that good stuff. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the first point that we're going to be talking about is immigration. And I brought this up in my Trump's 2020 political agenda video that Donald Trump wants to get rid of safe cities and he wants to make it harder for people wanting to come in this country to get green cards and visas. Big part of his political campaign is building the wall. To Biden's contrast, instead of building a wall, Biden wants to invest more money in X-ray sensor and technology to patrol and survey the border instead of just focusing on keeping people out and detaining them at the border and separating families, which is fucked up in my humblest of opinions. Biden wants to put a hold on all deportations, and then once the hold is lifted, to only deport undocumented citizens who have been convicted of a felony. Now, this is actually how it should be. Like, we should be doing this. I don't understand why we're not, but that is due process. Like, they have those rights underneath the Constitution, so I totally agree that we should be upholding those rights, giving them due process, and not making them scared of the police.
When immigrants succeed, we all succeed. America succeeds. And we need to protect that promise and preserve that chance.
Biden also wants to create an easier path to citizenship instead of making it so hard to get a green card. Like I said before, in Trump's contrast, he wants to make it harder for people to get in and out of the country. And like, I understand you just don't want anybody coming in, like regardless, there's gonna be an extreme vetting process. And Trump building the wall is a key part of his campaign. He talked about it multiple times when he was running first. They have done some work on the wall. It's not completely done. I don't know if you guys remember when Trump declared a national emergency at the US-Mexican border just to get more funding for the wall. $5 million more for the wall. And of course, this got challenged in court and they were like, so it didn't happen. Trump also doesn't believe in asylum. And if you don't know what asylum is, it's where people want to seek refuge from their country because maybe they're leaving like a terrible war-torn country. Trump wants to completely get rid of that. He doesn't want us to have asylums, and I'm totally against that. I feel like if someone's running from a bad situation and they want to come to our country to better themselves, have better opportunities, absolutely, we should let them do that. So the next point that we're going to talk about is the coronavirus, how each of them would handle it. Biden has talked about a very aggressive plan to target the coronavirus, which I hope he'll bring up more in the presidential debate.
We should be providing the money the House has passed in order to be able to go out and get people the help they need to keep their businesses open schools. It costs a lot of money.
He also wants to have a countrywide mask mandate and have the whole country on like a unified plan, which I talked about in my other video, and I really agree with that fact. Each state is doing something different. I feel like it's very counterproductive to us finding a solution. If some states are open 25% here and 50% here and no mask law here, it's gonna be way harder to contain the virus. Not to mention Trump severely downplayed the severity of the virus when it first came out.
So let's see what happens, but I think it's going to work out fine. Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. We're prepared and we're doing a great job with it, and it will go away. Just stay calm.
He has contradicted the advice of health officials multiple times, Dr. Fauci, and do I have to bring up the whole injecting himself with Lysol thing?
Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, I didn't forget about that. Especially because now in the fall, Dr. Fauci said that since it's gonna be like flu season, it's gonna be colder, that we will definitely see a rise in coronavirus cases up to potentially 1,000 a day. The next issue that we're gonna talk about is police reform. Now, Biden has spoken pretty openly about him wanting to reform the police. I know Kamala Harris definitely has. Reimagine how we see police and how they interact with civilians. He has definitely come out multiple times being pro BLM and pro this current social justice movement, but a lot of people are saying that this is just for show, that Biden actually doesn't really care about black people, black issues, what they're going for. Biden is trying to straddle the demands of the movement without alienating swing votes. He has spoken about the strains of racism. Okay, to articulate the strains of racism, it took 7 years for Democrats to articulate that Black Lives Matter. Now the country is watching to see if and how they will close the gap between symbolism and substance, and I feel like that is very true. if, actually I'm gonna say when, I'm gonna put it onto the universe, when Biden wins the 2020 presidential election, what is he really gonna do for BLM? Is he actually gonna put some of these things into place, or is it just for show? I also worry about that, so we will see, I guess, but I like that he is talking about it, giving it the spotlight that it deserves, and not just calling protesters like thugs and criminals and rioters. In 2002, Biden called for more police, stating that more police does not mean less crime. You guys can see my Defund the Police video to learn more about that. Recently, Biden has expressed several measures that he wants to take in police reform, such as banning chokeholds, requiring racial and religious sensitivity training, which I think is a total must. Like, a lot of these people are just, you know, like they don't have the training, like they're not equipped and trained to deal with this kind of thing. He also wants to encourage community policing and police officers being more friendly with its citizens, making themselves known in a positive way, which I feel like would totally be helpful. There are studies to show that cities and states that have better civilian to police relationship have actually less crime, so I think that's a good idea. Biden also has some things that I don't really agree with. For instance, Biden's 1994 Crime Act imposed tougher prison sentences at the federal level and encouraged states to do the same and have funds to build more jails and escalate the war on drugs. Now, I think that the war on drugs is just a way to put more money in the pockets of private prisons and to imprison more people of color and poorer people. So I feel like we definitely need to loosen the regulations on drug policy. And in 1994, Biden wasn't so keen on that. He has come out now to say that he would like to reimagine drug laws and slow the war on drugs, but this is another thing. I guess we'll have to see. Will he actually hold up to his word? Again, at least he's talking about it, bringing it to the light, and this is why it's important to know things so we can hold our officials accountable. If we could look back and be like,
hey Biden, you said you were gonna do this,
and then if he doesn't do it, we can do something about it. Like, we can't know if we're being screwed if we don't know that we're being screwed, you know? But his 1994 Crime Act did have some popular points, such as the Violence Against Women's Act, which I'm 100% for. So the next topic that we're going to talk about is abortion. Now, Trump has made it very, very clear that he does not believe in abortion. He wants to get rid of it, make it much harder for women to get abortions, which if you just get rid of abortions, if you outlaw abortions, people are still going to get them. They're just going to be getting it in unsafe, illegal, unsanitary ways. He says that Biden wants to have abortion clinics on site. Democrats don't care about the babies, but do you care about kids in cages? Like, I don't understand why people want to fight for unborn lives but not for the lives that are already here, you know? Like, and that's just me. To make it harder for women to get abortions, I feel like that is absolutely terrible. I am definitely pro-choice, so I would 10 out of 10 agree with Biden for still giving that option to women and not taking their rights. And I'm sure Kamala Harris wouldn't stand for that either. Okay, this video is probably already super duper long, but those are just a couple points that I want to talk to you guys about. But as you know, there's plenty more. So let me know if you want me to do part 2. We could talk about more things. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys today. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you learned anything from this video, if you liked it, what you didn't like, or if you want to clap back at me. Oh, and also don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah! Bye.